And KVGC News Time, 7 minutes after the hour. Time for a look at the news for a Thursday. It's the 12th day of September for 2019. Well, former member of the Amador School Board issued a warning at the beginning of last night's board meeting. Speaking during public comments, former school board member Bob Laurent demanded that school board member Candy Thompson withdraw and apologize for what he called slanderous remarks in a letter to the editor from Thompson published by the Amador Ledger-Dispatch back in May, or he would sue. Thompson was not present at last night's meeting. The board then got down to business, officially appointing the members of a special education study group. The board voted to appoint 32 members to the study group, which is charged with examining how special education services will be delivered in Amador County and if money can be saved by transferring special education programs from the County Office of Education to the Unified School District. The 32-member study group represents a wide range of stakeholders in the school system. Representatives include both special and general ed teachers, parents of students, education aides, principals, school board members, representatives of the various school district unions, as well as both the district and county superintendents. The study group will begin a year-long series of meetings and workshops to discuss this issue. And in other business last night, the school board reviewed the district's procedures for adopting new textbooks. The different subjects are on an 8-year rotation for review and adoption under supervision of a 13-person committee, half of whom are classroom teachers. Currently, the district is going to begin the review cycle for history and social science. The board also passed a declaration last night that the school district had sufficient textbooks for the ongoing school year. Well, the Amador Transit Board of Directors has approved reductions in the number of routes provided each day by Amador Transit while expanding others. The board voted to implement changes for the Jackson-Sutter Creek Shuttle and the bus routes to Ione. The cuts to service are driven by two factors faced by the transit agency. First, they have a budget deficit of more than $200,000 in the last fiscal year that needs to be closed. Second, the array of grants and subsidies that the agency uses to fund its operation all come with a requirement that the agency cover at least 10% of its costs with ride fares. Amador Transit is very close to dropping below that 10% line, which would place much of the agency's funding in jeopardy. On the plus side, the Transit Board did approve additional stops at the Regal Theaters and the DMV office in Jackson, along with the Interfaith Food Bank. The Dial-A-Ride service area will also be expanded. The direct trip service will become available in the Upper Ridge Road and State Highway 88 areas. Moving forward, the Board of Directors has directed agency staff to bring forward proposals at a future meeting for an increase in bus fares and possible reduction in routes at the far eastern edge of the county. Well, due to delays in receiving key parts to fix an 80-year-old bridge, the proposed road closure over Echo Summit on Highway 50 has been pushed back. The project was slated to begin this month, but Caltrans announced they will delay the project until later next year. About a half-mile stretch of Highway 50 was scheduled to be closed from October 18th through the 31st, creating a lengthy detour on the Highway 88 through Jackson for drivers trying to get to South Lake Tahoe. Instead, the contractor for the bridge project will winterize the job site and come back next year. Crews will still be working on the bridge in the meantime. The work is taking place Monday through Friday during the day. Drivers can expect to see one-way traffic control reversing in both directions and delays of up to 20 minutes. The closure is part of a $14.1 million bridge replacement project aimed at constructing a new structure that will meet current seismic and safety standards. And the future of Railroad Flat Elementary School was the main topic of a Calaveras Unified School District study session earlier this week. Only the latest in a saga of formal and informal threats of closure, the board must once again produce a decision on November 5th regarding the fate of the 150-year-old school. Since 2010, enrollment peaked and has entered a downward spiral. At that time, the school had 85 students, and trustees voted 3-2 to keep it open. A projected development by the district shows that only 28 students will reside in Railroad Flat in 2024. According to District Superintendent Mark Campbell, the reality of the situation is the district's budget is just not sustainable in its current state. If a solution isn't found, those funds will have to be found elsewhere in the district's budget, likely through staffing cuts as they have been in past years. Additional discussions regarding the future of Railroad Flat Elementary will take place during a September 26th meeting at the school, as well as the upcoming Calaveras Unified School District Board meeting, September 17th and October 22nd. And chickens of all ages will be available for adoption Friday and Saturday at the Calaveras County Fairgrounds. The hens and chicks were confiscated from an illegal marijuana grow in Copperopolis last month. The birds will be sold for $2.50 or $5 per pair at the adoption event at the fairgrounds on the 13th and 14th. It runs from 10 to 2 both days. All transactions are cash only, and buyers must bring their own carriers. The chickens have been cared for by Calaveras County Animal Control and fair staff since August 28th. Now for more information, contact Animal Control 754-6509. And a ribbon-cutting ceremony and community all-sport meet and greet will be held this evening at Argonaut High School. According to Athletic Director Scott Hunkins, members of the school district board, district officials, and Argonaut High School Principal Troy Gassaway will all be on hand to take part in the ribbon-cutting ceremony for the new track and scoreboard at the Argonaut High School Athletic Field Complex. Scheduled to start around 6 o'clock, following the ceremony, the Argonaut Quarterback Club will host a Mustang family all-sport meet and greet. Sausages, brats, and hot dog meals will be available for purchase for only $5. You can meet Argonaut athletes and coaches to celebrate after years of dedication from family, friends, and the community, the completed track and scoreboard. And that's a look at local news on a Gold Country Thursday morning. From the KVGC News Center, I'm Jim Geedy reporting. For the latest news, traffic, and weather 24 hours a day, be sure to visit our website at kvgcradio.com.